Friends and followers, welcome back to my channel. Greetings from home. I hope y'all are doing well out there. A subscribe would be splendid. Ringing the notification bell would be super awesome. And going on to truckersactsfanshop.com and truckersackbell.com would be absolutely superb. Because I could use all the support I can get over the next few months to help this YouTube channel grow and to perhaps come up with a time and place to take a break from all the trucking that I've been doing. Especially since over the past month, I've been dealing with some financial difficulties as the price of stuff on the road goes up. And I'm not just talking the gas price either. I'm talking the price of hot, healthy food if it's available. The price of supplies for the truck. The cost of a pair of gloves, for example, has gone from $9 to $22 for a good pair of the ones that are DOT reflector compliant. And a pair of sneakers has become much less affordable, and I need them right now. So at this point, I got some decisions to make. And oh yeah, let's not forget the fact the cost of my diabetes testing supplies has been going up as well. Did you know that Freestyle, the division of Abbott Laboratories, now charges $75 if your insurance doesn't cover your CGM sensors? And that's just for the Libre 14-day system. And if you're using some of the other systems, like the Rely On or the Contour, it seems like the price of their supplies has also gone up slightly. So, I would encourage y'all to help support the channel. And also, if you have a friend who has a health condition and drives a truck, feel free to send my channel their way. And by health conditions, I mean things like sleep apnea, diabetes, that kind of stuff. And by the way, I had to hire a coach today for help with my diet because it was time for a refresher course and my doctor encouraged me to do it. So, with that being said, on this episode of Truckin' It, we're going to talk about coaching. Why it's important for you to have a coach, whether that be for your health conditions or for your training as a driver. And I'll also talk about driver training a little bit too. What you should expect from a trainer and why. I've been seeing a lot of stories about these so-called trainers sleeping in the bunk on a certain other YouTuber's channel when they should have been up actually coaching. So let's get started. And I'll tell you what makes a good coach and why you need one. That's coming up right now. So first, thanks to Alex at the Asian Mai Show for sharing all these breaking stories involving students and trainers. Especially the one where a rig went plummeting off an overpass because a trainer was asleep in the bunk. So, I know that I don't want to share stuff that isn't true or that's speculative, but what I know about training is actually quite a bit. And I see that a lot of these drivers that are coming into the industry are not getting trained adequately. So there's a few types of trainers you need to have in your life. I'll go through them in order. The first one is your initial trainer And then you want a mentor for the basic questions that you have out on the road. And then finally, you want to have some sort of health coach as well. So, well, that you can get some counseling with things like diet, exercise, etc. So, that you can stay healthy out there. Let's start with your initial trainer first, and then go on to these other two. Okay, so let's start now with the first guy in the right seat of your truck, or you're in the left seat of his, actually, in the case of a trainer-student role. So you got a guy who's in the right seat wanting to train you up. Congratulations, you've entered your first leg of your trucking career. So, what to do when you're looking for that first trainer? You want a person you can mingle with. You want a person who has been there and done that. You want somebody who's in the know on the rules, the regulations, the FMCSA stuff. But most importantly, you want a guy who's been there and done that. And not just about things like showing you where the best casino is or showing you where the best burger is on the road. But you also want a guy who's been driving a long time, who's seen it all, and who's been at your company for God knows how long. And by God knows how long, I mean years. Somebody who's basically like what I am at my operation, where we'll get into coaches in a minute. But your initial trainer is the most important guy you have for that first few weeks of your career. Because he's watching your driving, he's watching how you take corners, he's watching how you deal with hazards on the road. And he's supposed to be helping you do things like backing up, making sure you're not distracted, making sure you're not having an emergency of some kind. And if you do get into those situations, he needs to be there to either coach you or drive the rig for you to get yourself to safety. And I say the coaching part's probably the more important part of this initial training. What I've been seeing over the last few years is a lot of mega carriers promoting guys to trainer when they've only got 6 months behind the wheel of a truck and not very much time on the road. And for them, I am so sorry. I wish that there was a way, perhaps, to, I'm not going to say rat these companies out, but there needs to be a better way for you initial students going into these companies to kind of interview your first trainer, ask about their experience, and hopefully get the best guy for you. So now we'll go on to my role, which is a mentor. So, after you've completed your initial training, you're going to want a guy who you can look up to give you advice when the time comes. Now, all trainers have a mentor. And someone who they contact, who might be a higher up within the company, might be someone who has a lot more experience than them, or at least they should. You want somebody who's been in the industry a while. Well, if you're going to be doing this mentor role like what me and my co-driver both do. And, I mean, he's kind of a mentor to me because he's been at the company longer than I have. And I'm kind of a mentor to him in terms of things like the technology aspects, etc. Because I've gotten to know some of these systems that are, a PITA to deal with. But more importantly, both me and him have training on emergencies and how to deal with them. And a lot of experience under our belts, too. So, what my role and his role both are now is that other drivers look up to me and him to help them deal with whatever happens in their equipment. And it's not just drivers within the carrier. Sometimes it's drivers outside the carrier as well. So, for instance, I made friends with a guy named Levi back several years ago, and occasionally me and him still speak on the phone about stuff that's going on. For example, and then, as for myself, my particular mentor is actually a guy who helped me get into the industry. And me and him still chat quite often, and he's like, "Don't make me come down there." But it is important to have someone who you can call in the event that anything happens that you need help with. And I'm not talking the money situation. That's a whole separate problem where you might need a financial coach or something like that. We'll deal with coaches in the next part of this episode. But what you need for a mentor is a fellow truck driver who's got plenty of experience under his or her belt and who can bounce ideas off you to help you deal with that bad dispatch system or that technical issue that keeps coming up on your truck, or where to get the information for the weather conditions from a state DOT. Stuff like that. Somebody who's been there a while and who knows what they're doing, regardless of what the situation is. Now, on to coaches. So, now on to coaches. You're going to need coaches for two things in particular: money and your health. For money, we all deal with financial crises once we've become drivers at some point. Sometimes the loads don't pay enough. Sometimes the bills just stack up at home while you're on the road. And that's why not everybody is suited to be a driver. And having a coach is definitely one of the more important things that you can have in your life once you start driving big rig. Now, a financial coach is definitely a must to kind of guide you through like the stacks of bills that build up when you're out on the road. And for me personally, I'm getting some health coaching because health is very important to you as a driver, and you need someone to help you with all that stuff that's available at the truck stop. There's different kinds of snacks, and not everybody can handle the types of snacks that are available there. For example, did you know that a slice of pizza at a Road Ranger has 56 grams of carbs? I bet you didn't know that until now, and it's similar at Flying J as well. And that's just for one slice of pizza. Other foods available at truck stops like roller wieners, for example, corn dogs, that kind of stuff. That can be very bad for you if it's really high in carb content, specifically. Not to mention the salt, the cholesterol, that kind of stuff. So I would strongly encourage you to get a coach as soon as you can afford one to guide you through healthy eating, exercises that you can do on the road. And for some of you, this may also involve a gym membership. Check with your company's health plan to see if there's gym membership reimbursement available. And get a membership at a place that will offer you the most bang for your buck. And by that, I mean get a place that's close to the truck stops that you can maybe take an Uber or Lyft to get your workout in during your 10-hour break. And to get some more of that much needed coaching on things like exercise while you're out on the road. I see the truck stop chains have not adapted. And having a coach, someone to help you with those adaptations that you need to do, is the best thing you can do for your health. So your trainer, your mentor, your coach, the three people that you need in your life if you're going to start this career as a truck driver and be successful at it. I should know. I've been driving big rigs for 13 years now. Since 2009. And I've been able to do it successfully. You can too. I'm Trucker Zach Bell. This has been Truckin' It. Let's keep the rubber side down, the shiny side up, and make your best trip your next trip. Keep learning, keep thinking, keep on trucking, and for those of y'all starting out, have fun starting this career. Because you will get really upset really quick if you don't find some way to have some actual fun while you're doing this. Bye for now.